Hello everybody, it's Luna. I'm gonna go live. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you just a real quick trick. I can't do a full face makeup because obviously my face is still healing and I can't really feel my face that well. But I wanna show you, if you could see right here, if you look in the mirror, I kind of covered that bruise. And then if you look on this side, you can see the bruises on this side. So I'll do this so you can see, look. See how I kind of covered the bruise a little bit? Here, no bruises. I'm just going to show you really quick a way to do it. Let's see, there's many different ways you can do it. So let's see. I'm going to try to do it really quick so you can see this side. So, first things first. Get myself situated. And then I think if I turn this so you guys can actually see what I'm doing to my face. So I'm going to be in the mirror. And you could see me here better than what I can do, maybe. Let's see how we'll see how that works. Let me loosen this a little bit more. And so I'm going to take my glasses out. So first thing first is you want to make sure your skin's clean and clear. You want to make sure you don't have any open sores or anything like that. And I'm going to try to do it with my glasses off. So a couple things that you want to grab are some color correction. So it just depends on what you're trying to cover. So I'm trying to cover this here, and you can see it has like purples. It's really, really dark. So then you kind of want to just go opposite on the color wheel. And so for this, I need yellow. This here is Pro Performance MAC makeup. It's for an airbrush. And so, I don't know if you can see it. I'll do this way so you can just see what I'm going to do. It's a little close to my face. Just want this to fall. So this is just a MAC thing. It's really light. So the only difference with this one is that it's light. So I'm going to have to use a lot more. And then I'm using here the cream. It's banana powder. It's like a brightening setting powder. And I'm just going to use this to set it. And it has a little bit of a yellow tone. You can use full coverage. You can use semi-coverage. You can use all kinds of stuff. So if I wanted here, I could use my Double Wear Maximum Cover, which is a full coverage. Or I'll just show you drugstore. This here, it's so messy. I use it a lot. This is a Lift Illuminating. This is actually from, it's called number 7 and it's from Walgreens. So I'm going to show you how to do it with some drugstore stuff. And then what I recommend is getting a dry sponge. You want some puffs. You want a blending sponge. I'm going to use two little brushes, And then you want a wet sponge. So, first thing is you want to grab your primer. So this is any kind of primer. There's blurring primers. There's color correcting primers. And if you wanted to cover other colors, there's other things you could do. So like, this is a violet, green. So like, also like you could find peach. Let's see, I don't think I have peach. And then also for people who have different skin tones. So you have to find your base tone first. So like this is morph, and see how that's a violet. So this violet one is kind of like, covers reds and stuff like that. And then also, this is from Krylon. And if you look at it, see how it's really orange? And some people use, like if you guys watch Drag Race and stuff like that, people use stuff from, like you can use lipsticks and things like that. So I'm not gonna do full face. And then what I'm gonna do is like, I have some other foundation stuff that sometimes is like, it's sometimes, how do you say? I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna put an earpiece in so you can hear me a little better. Hello, can you guys hear me better? And yeah, so if you guys have any tips, so then if you like, sometimes you know how some people buy some, you buy some makeup from the store and maybe the undertones of that makeup might be too yellow, might be too orange or whatever. So you can use that as well. So I'm just gonna use, this is just like a little bit of a concealer thing with the sponge. I'm gonna use the 7. I'm actually also gonna use my number 7, just like a finishing compact powder. And see how it's kind of like peachy? So to cover bruises like this, you kind of want some peachy stuff. My light is giving a slight yellow cast, but then, so one day I should do my airbrush machine. You guys will love it, but it's really, really, really loud. So what I'm gonna do first, before I go a little too ahead of myself, I'm just gonna put a little blurring primer. Just very little. I'm just gonna cover this area. To go. So there's a couple things you need to do. Sometimes, if depending on your skin, if it's oily or dry, since if you're oily, some people can use powder. If your skin's dry, powder doesn't work all the time. Use a primer, and then let's see what's this, hydrating eyeshadow primer. It's an eyeshadow primer. So like, yeah, so like if you see how this is a little darker, so, and it has a slight peach too. So we'll play around with some of these. I'm going to show you what I'm going to use first. So now, I'm going to grab some of this yellow. See how yellow it is? I am going to put it all right there. And see how it's so watery? I'm going to use one side of my wet sponge. I'm going to pick up that yellow. See? I'm going to put the yellow covering onto cover. A little too much. And then you could use the other side of the sponge to spread it out. Can you guys see what I'm doing? That yellow? I'll just cover it right there. I know it looks crazy. I'm going to use this other side of the sponge, and then what you want to do is, I want to diffuse it. You want to just kind of like, you want to feather it out. So you're just really wanting to condense it. See that yellow? You're wanting to condense it what you're trying to cover. See? It's like, I don't know if anyone paints or anything like that. And then it's like painting. And so what I'm trying to do is just blur out the, excuse me, sorry. Trying to blur out the lines. Sorry, I just have to get closer to my mirror. So now you see how, let me lift my seat up a little bit. Oop. They're doing testing a fire alarm in the building. This is Sam Manzano. We will now conduct a short fire alarm test. It will only sound on floors 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna mute for a second because this alarm is really loud. Thank you, Sam. So let me mute. Okay, can you guys hear me again? Can anyone let me know? Sorry about that. They were testing a fire alarm in the building. So now, what I was saying earlier, I'm using this one side to pick up the yellow. I'm putting the yellow and condensing it when I'm trying to cover here. And then I'm using the other side that doesn't have much, and I'm just trying to blend it out. Giving that a minute to set, okay? Because this is really wet. And then I'm going to grab my little bit of my banana powder, which has a little bit of yellow, or you can grab one that has peach, because you're going to have to custom it because the bruise has many different colors. And so I'm going to use this little brush. I'm just going to pick up some of the powder, testing it off. I don't want a lot of it. Grab the lid, circle, circle. And then now I'm going to just, where I don't want that yellow to move. So I'm doing that. And then I'm going to, what's left, I'm just trying to fade out really light. And I can't feel my face still, so I hope I can't. So I know it probably looks super cray cray. Now, I still have a little bit of yellow on my hand, but that's fine. Now there's a couple things I can do. I can grab a concealer. This is the concealer. And this brand here it's Alley-Pop. It's a Game Face. Do you see how it's, let's see, can you see it? It's for concealer. So you can either add it directly or put it on your here. So what I'm going to do now is, once I set that powder there, I'm going to grab a big brush. I just want to blend off any of that excess powder. Now, you don't want to rub, you want to dab. So, I'm just dabbing it on. I feel I need it. Now, remember, this side has all the yellow. This side has a residual of yellow. So what you're going to need to do is either grab another sponge, or I'm going to use a different part of my sponge and just go dab, 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 dab. Getting that concealer in there. Need a little more. And try not transferring too much yellow. Da, 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 da. And you want to stipple it out. And now I'm going to grab my Lift foundation here. And this is a sheer foundation. It's buildable. Put it there. Make sure I don't grab the yellow side. And remember, you just want to dab, 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 real light. And then you just continue putting your makeup on. There you go. I think I picked up some more yellow than I needed, but look, and I'm gonna just cover it up there. I didn't put any color corrector up here, so you're gonna see how it doesn't really. It's gonna shine through. And then a little bit more. Hey, baby. Now that I dabbed it, got a little bit of powder. Then I'm going to grab this, and this is the triple action lift and film, light, medium. It's a little peachy, so it's good about that for me. And I'm just going to grab this type of brush, and remember, I'm dabbing. You don't want to roll because then the makeup moves. This is going to help set. Okay. Now, I want to grab some of that banana powder again, because it's like a setting powder. It's a brightening too. Little powder puff. Load up my powder puff. Dab off in the lid. And go. You don't have to make noises like I do, but and I'm just dabbing into the face because what I'm doing now is I'm trying to help set the makeup in place. Babe, can you throw me a little towel that I can wipe my hands with, like a rag, please? You have a chance. So now I'm just letting it kind of bake a little bit. Thank you. So now it's kind of been there for a while. So I'm going to just use this brush again. It has a little bit of yellow on it, but very lightly blend it off. And now at this point, if you want to add some color back to your face, some blush. So then what I'm going to do is grab a little bit of blush. I'm going to do like a light color. This is just to put some color back into the face. And again, it's that peachy color, right? I'm going just really light. I can't feel my face because it's still bruised, but just trying to give a little bit of. I grab a brush like this. I'm going to grab some of that peach. It's like a highlighter. Highlighter in. Now if I want a little darker blush, let's see. This is Bisha. And let me see if I can open it. Cream blush, not cream. I'm just going to use a little contour brush, add a little bit of this powder because it's also like a coral. Just that kind of what I wanted. I'm using my there we go. And then I always like to finish with a nice soft brush. And there you have it. So if you look, you could still see remnants of the bruise just a little bit, but you saw how dark it was, right? And if you look up here, you could still see that darkness. I didn't use any color correction whatsoever in that area. And I hope that kind of helped. And my bruises are super dark. And again, like if you're like, oh, I don't like that. I used, again, this is number 7. I get it at Walgreens. And this is a light to sheer makeup. I've also used a sheer concealer by Olipop. And this one is called Game Face. It's called Second Skin. So it's supposed to look just like, you know, it's supposed to be like a veil, a part of your skin. So did that. The primer I used today was an easy blurring primer from Huda Beauty. For my color correction color, I used Pro Performance MAC Airbrush Makeup in yellow. It's called Primary Yellow. The number is A97. Then I also used to help set, it's called the Cream Shop. It's a brightening banana powder. Excuse me. And then I also used my number 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Finishing Powder in light medium. And that also has a slight peach tone to it. So if you're wanting to cover dark bruises, the colors that I had, you want to fall into the range of yellow and peach. So I was kind of combining the two together. And then the last 2 things I did was use Kevin Coon. This is the Neon Blush, and it's called Rose Cliff and Golden Rose. So if you look at it, the spectrum, like I said, peach to the reds. And so I used some of that to just kind of help with my highlighting process. And then lastly, to just give a little bit more color back to my cheeks, I used Bisha's Essential Duo, and it's called the Bahamas colorway. That's where you see that color. And this one comes with like a cream and a powder. So what I did was I opted just for the powder one right here. Very ever so lightly. And the brushes I used was, this is just a color foundation brush. See how it's kind of angled. And if you look, the yellow in it, that's why I used so many different brushes, because if the yellow transfers. This is also just a fluffy brush. I think it's, honestly, it's probably generic brush I got at like Walgreens or something. This is called, it's a powder brush. Got this through Temu. I mean, not Temu. Sorry. Ipsy. And then this here is just a dual brush I use to kind of get my blush and just blending it out. And then lastly, you can use any big powder brush to just See how this is the residual. And there you have it. And those are all the things I use to conceal. I hope that's helped anybody. Oh, and then if you wanted to too, because I have not added any bronzer. So what bronzer should I use? Okay, I'll use this Esther, one of my favorite bronzers. It's called Bronze Goddess. And then this is the brush that it comes with, which I actually truly love. I load it up, and then yeah, it just gives a little bit of life, honey. And then I'm gonna use that big. Remember, this has a little bit of yellow. This has a little bit of yellow. So I'm gonna just grab a brush that's not touched the yellow, just to kind of soften everything up. Really light. And now my yellow brushes I'm keeping to the side. And then I used a wet blending sponge. And I just used multiple sides. And these sponges are fine. And then I used little powder puffs. And that's it. So now, put these brushes here. Now you guys, so if you just tuned in, I'm going to take this makeup off so then you could see my bruises. You guys ready to see the bruises? And you guys feel free to share, tap on it, any questions you may have. So I'm pulling out my cute little Betsy Johnson makeup remover wipes. And now I'm covering bruises with the sheer makeup. So look at this. Showing you. I'm going to show you. There's no, and I don't have anything on my hands. See the bruise? I'm going to get makeup remover. Be right back. This is actually a multicellular cleansing water. I like it because this thing locks. Oh, my face hurts. There's bruises, you guys. So I'm just grabbing this makeup wipe that I used, loading it up. See? Taking off the makeup. Can you guys see? Too bad that I need to figure out how to get that filter so you guys won't see the soft focus, but you saw that I covered that, right? And here, I did not do any color correction. I just put a little bit of powder on it so you could see it. And then I'm just going to take off the makeup I have on my hands. I'm touching everything. Now, this side I did earlier. Something on my hands. Ah, I dropped it. Clean wipe. Just getting some more makeup remover. See that? there you have it. That's one way you can color correct. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay. Well, for everyone that tuned in, I'd be nice. Hope it's helped somebody. And I could do it again another day and do hopeful face, but I just wanted to show you guys kind of how to cover bruises. And just so you guys know, these bruises are from, I had FFS surgery at the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. And that surgery takes a while for it to heal. It just depends on the individuals, but usually it could take almost like a year to 2 years. Like the top outer area may look better, but you're still healing underneath the skin. And in my cheeks, they do fat transfer, but they also added like, I can't say it right. It's not mylar balloon, but to me it sounded something like that. And it's a any surgery there's complications. So on this side of my face, I guess the pus pocket built up, and it started, they put me on antibiotics to see if the antibiotics would help. And the flare up happened probably 8, 9, 10 months after surgery. And then my husband and I were getting married in April 2025. So like it happened like a month before we were going to go to Louisiana to go get married. And it was actually the doctors put me on antibiotics again because I didn't want to go into surgery before the wedding. I mean, no person probably would want to do that. Thanks, you guys, for the hearts and the likes and tapping the screen. I truly appreciate it. You guys can share the live. Any questions on that? Anyways, so after that, the doctor's busy, and my surgery was December 1st to go in and take out the cheek implants and clear and see what was going on. And there was a pus pocket in there. So they had to clear out the pus pocket. They had to do the antiseptic and clean everything out. So I have scars all. You can see, see all that? Oh, anyways. So now I'm healing within 6 months. Once this heals and if everything's okay, they're gonna go in and we're gonna just do a fat transfer again and going to do some reconstruction surgery. So that's all these bruises and stuff is from the surgery, because they go in and do whatever, all this stuff that they do. So thanks for liking the lives and joining. So I just thought this would be the best time to show people who maybe wanted to know how to do some color correction on their faces and stuff like that. So everyone, have a good day, and I will see you again soon. Again, if you guys you can also follow my story on TikTok. We're on TikTok now. Duh. But you can follow me on YouTube, and it's just the at Luna J Dixon, LunaJDixon, and you can follow my journey. And I put a lot of little short clips on there as well, so you can see when I just came out of my surgery in end of 2023, 2024, and then this journey that I'm going through now, right now. So December 1st was the day I actually had the surgery and stuff, to clean everything out. And yeah, so if you stuck around, thank you, and I hope to see you again.